All right, so I'm going to try to make this short, 5 minutes, because I have to run off to a meeting. Uh, this is a very quick video on the disease profile project. Some of the things you want to watch out for, where to find things, etc., etc., etc. So first things first, let's go to the discussion board. And on the discussion board, the first thing you should do is go to this one here, the disease profile project. This is where everything pertinent to the project will be. And this one here that says groups have been formed. Boom, here are the group assignments, right? And I tried to be as accommodating as I possibly can with group requests, but unfortunately, the way the numbers bounce, we are groups of 3. I know some of you have asked for groups of 4, but it is what it is for now. It's been a very challenging week with lots of additions and roster upheaval and this kind of stuff, but here we are, 28 groups. This is the largest class I've ever had. I've combined our 2 classes for the first time ever. This is kind of my experimental run. We'll see how this goes, but we got 28 groups. Find your name on this list. If you would rather look at it in a PDF, you can go look at the PDF, but your name should be on this list. If for some reason you're not on the list, let me know, but I will probably just say that it's there, you just didn't see it. All right, part number 2. Down here is your personal group forum. Okay, so every group has their own forum. If you've been assigned to group 5, there's your group 5 forum. As a matter of fact, you will only see your own group's forum, right? So do you see how I have this list of 28 forums? You will only actually just see the one, just to keep it simple, right? So what you're going to see are discussions, quiz questions, disease profile project, and then whatever your group is. You click on this, and then over here is where I respond and work with you guys, right? So but there's only one right now. This one says part 1 group project. You click on that, and here are the details of the project, okay? So the project is a learning-based or problem-based learning scenario, and this, which means that for this project you play a role, and your role is an employee of the Department of Health. More specifically, you're working in the communications office, and your goal is to educate the public about a certain disease. Right? We have this fictional thing called Microbial Disease Awareness Month, and there are 3 things you need to do, coinciding with 3 parts. Now the intro memo here, if you read that, will give you the overview of the project, right? So the overview of the project is well, a press release, a PowerPoint presentation, and a poster. Those are parts 1, 2, and 3. Now many people ask, well, what do I do for part 2? What do I do for part 3? Don't worry about it. Part 1 first, part 2 second, part 3 third, and we're going to do it in that order. And then there's a mystery part 4, which we'll get to when we get to part 4. But parts 1, 2, and 3 first, right? Here are the details for part 1, right? So part 1 will tell you exactly what you need to do. You got to write a press release. These are the things that to be in it. This is how I want you to do it. I want you guys to use Google Drive. If you don't know how to use Google Drive, there's a video here that says how to use Google Drive. We all have it as part of our Hawaii.edu, and we should use our Hawaii.edu Google Drive, not your personal Gmail one. All right, so go and read this over, and this will get you acquainted. Again, remember, you are employees of the Department of Health, not Leeward Community College students, right? It's very important that you play that role proper. So when you are submitting your press release, keep that in mind. You are employees, not students, right? Ultimately, this is graded. So here's a rubric. This is what I'm looking for. You want to get 25 points? That's what you need to do to get 25 points, right? So follow that. Use it as a guideline. This is self-directed. It is a problem-based learning scenario. So often when you ask me, well, what do I need to do, or what are some of the things that I should include? Well, here's a rubric conveniently provided for you. That's what you should do, and that will be my typical response. Anything in terms of logistics or technical things that need to be figured out, let me know. But in terms of submissions, I'd like you guys to take ownership of this project, right? So that's part of the theme of this project. All right. So after you go to this part, I want you guys to introduce yourselves, right? So you just simply reply and talk to each other. You don't have to use the forum as a way to discuss, but if you guys use the forum, then I know you guys are communicating. So later when someone says, so-and-so is not helping out, well, I can look at the forum and say, well, they've been communicating. Are you the one not communicating? Right? But if I see nothing, then I really have to just take everyone's word for it. And please, everyone participate, and don't be the one who doesn't participate, because then it just makes my life a lot of trouble, and I hate doing that kind of stuff. And, you know, out of all the group projects, 90% of the groups go so well. Everyone has a great time and learns so much. It's just that very small percentage that really gives me troubles. right? And please, if you just do the job that you're assigned to do, everyone will be happy. I promise. So introduce yourselves. You have to choose a topic, and to select your topic as your own, go back to the Disease Profile Project Forum, Project Topics, and here you are. All right, just simply hit reply, say we are group number X, and then this is the disease that we would like to study. Must be of microbial origin, i.e. a microbe must cause it, so it can't be things like diabetes or cancer or anything like that, which are very common choices that don't qualify. After you have a project topic, you simply reply, this is what you want, and I'll come back and I say it's approved. You may go ahead and start, or say nope, go back to the drawing board. It's either too similar to another person's or another group's project, or I just don't like it. Right? So for whatever reason, sometimes certain diseases are just not amenable to this project. Now, this is the first time I'm combining our two classes. Usually we have two separate CRNs, but with 28 groups, I try to have different diseases for every group, but that's going to be a little bit challenging. So if you would like to do a same topic as another group, I will allow no more than 2 groups to work on the same disease, right? But no more than 2. And it's first come, first choice. And first come is not first one to email me, it's first one to post in this discussion board. That's how it works. I think I've said everything I need to say. Remember, the employees of the Department of Health, right? Not students of Leeward Community College Micro 130, right? That's very important when you're playing this role. Use each other, talk to each other, communicate. If you have any questions, post them on the discussion board. Make sure you're communicating. That's the whole thing. Communicate. I will probably send more details along the way. Most important thing about the project, I think I said most important thing many times, but a very important thing about the project, know your audience. You are talking to members of your community, not to me, not to someone who's versed in microbiology, right? So when you're writing, when you're presenting, will your aunties and uncles understand what you're saying? Will your neighbors understand what you're saying? That's the whole theme here. Communicating to the public in a way where they will be educated, but not overwhelmed with technical details, right? And basically, if you don't understand what you're writing, this is probably not the level of writing that we want. Okay, I went over by a minute or two. I apologize, but there's so many good things to say. Any questions? Post them on the board.